Hey, Will.
Hey.
Oh, you ready to laugh today?
Yeah, you ready to laugh today?
Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, yeah, go. Welcome to SmartLess.
SmartLess.
Hey, do you guys eat seafood? Last night, Scotty and I went to a seafood place.
Oh.
We went to, it was right up the
Are you asking if we did too, by chance?
Yeah.
I had a bite of fish last night. I actually went out to dinner for the first time in a very long time last night.
To a restaurant?
Yeah, the four of us went out to have a little family dinner, and it was very, very pleasant.
That's nice.
Well, now, see, I went to the place I went to, you have to show vaccine card, you have to show ID. You don't have to do that in LA when you go out, right?
No, we didn't have to show any of that stuff. We should have. Well, we were eating outside. I wonder if that matters.
Huh.
No.
But you had to show it there in Chicago?
Yeah, and then I got little, because Will knows I like lobster and seafood and crab and stuff. And then, so it was all on my fingers. And what I do is I take the lemon and I squeeze the lemon on my hands and then rub my hands together so that it doesn't smell.
Okay, and then what? And then you dry them off? Or
But isn't that you make it sound like that's some special strategy you thought up? Don't they bring the lemon to the table for that purpose with the little cloth?
You put the lemon on the food. I don't know that you're supposed to put it on your hands, but I do.
Well, we can ask our mystery guest, who seems to be a Top Chef contestant based on what we're able to see here, and a male Top Chef contestant based on the David that was burped out before we got going
he's a
here.
Top Chef contestant.
Listener, usually the mystery guest is a full mystery. But I don't know the last name yet.
So you don't know the last name. So let's get right into it. Let's get it.
Okay.
You'll guess it right away. This guy.
My mouth is watering.
Well, throw some lemon in there. This guy is one of the funniest in the biz, period. Makes me laugh a lot. I remember seeing him on SNL when I was a kid, and everyone would imitate his characters. He's been on not one hit sitcom, but 2 hit sitcoms. How many people can say that? I was a huge fan of his latest talk show. So many movies, so many animated films, so many TV shows, so many laughs. David Spade.
Wait, what?
Wait,
David
what?
Spade.
Wait, how did you guys do that little switch?
David, who was in the background going, David?
Oh, yeah. Heather, you got popped for yelling David.
Heather,
Wait, but
Heather
why?
got popped again.
Well, hang on. I feel dumber than I usually feel on this show.
Which is
Did you
remarkable.
guys do a little switcheroo there on your?
No, I just did it before he got on.
Yeah.
Oh, they put Top Chef contestant.
Okay, so
That's pretty good.
wow,
How little? First of all, David, welcome. I want to say welcome because nobody said it yet. So welcome.
David,
Really
welcome.
happy you're here.
David, welcome to the Little
Secondly, I
Shows.
want to say, and I don't know how you feel about it, about Sean saying, I used to watch him on SNL when I was a kid. So that feels terrible to begin with.
I was a kid.
Dude,
What do you want me?
listen, I was so locked into the lemon squeeze story that I don't know
it's
what we're
compelling.
talking about now, because why did he bail on
Yeah,
that one?
stay tuned.
Sean's like, guys, before we start, I've got a story about a lobster and it's fucking crushing wherever I go. So let me just go with it. And then
Right.
when it feels like it's tapering down, I'm going to bring on Spadoodle.
It's a real handy tip he's figured out with shellfish.
What I was thinking, David, that the other day, Jason and I played this Pro-Am golf tournament, and I was at the tee, and I was about to tee off, and they had all these kids, like volunteers, and this guy goes, not kids, these guys, and whatever. This guy goes, as I'm about to tee off, he goes, well, I love Blades of Glory. It was my favorite movie when I was a kid. And I just stopped and I went, I was an adult when I made that.
Yeah. And how old are you? You look good.
Wait a minute.
I'm almost 52.
Wait, David, just to clarify, what year did you start SNL? So I can say I was a kid.
I don't even, I don't know if we should talk numbers, but it scares off fans. Let me think.
Okay.
I think SNL was 91.
Yeah, I was 20.
But David, you have
Cue
been
plummeting ratings.
But David, you've been very funny and actively funny, i.e. employed for a very long time, and that is quite the gold ribbon in this.
That's hard. Yeah, that's
or
a hard
gold-
part.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
for you.
for so many years. But wait, I want to go back to the seafood because I always see you at that seafood place that you and I go to on La Cienega.
That story's a two-parter?
Yeah.
no, it'll be more.
Barely a one-parter.
Wait, What seafood
I always
place?
see you at the
Stop saying seafood.
Okay, sorry. So generic.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys ever eaten seafood? Did you guys eat seafood last night? It was like us? No, we didn't sync up on that one. Well,
Yeah.
I'll go first with my seafood
This is
story.
the best podcast ever.
I know. I was like, geez, that squeezing the lemon was like a car chase for that story.
What restaurant do you guys
I
sometimes?
always see you at Koi. We always go to Koi.
I do. You know, Sean, I've seen it Koi, and we've never bought each other dinner and do that.
No,
old
but I'm
funny
open
trick.
to it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll start. I'll buy it for you.
Wait. Koi's a sushi restaurant. Stop calling it a seafood restaurant.
Well, fishes are in the ocean. Everything's really a seafood restaurant.
And so it's spelled KOI, not COI, right? It's not like some
it's
sneaky little date place
Right.
called
No,
Koi.
I always go, you want to go eat some sushi? And Scotty will go, oh, Koi.
Oh,
Koi?
you guys are so
No,
cute.
but all kidding aside, one time I got food poisoning there.
Oh,
No, well, we
nice.
can't say that. We got to cut that out.
No, you didn't hear what he said. Say it again, David.
Food poisoning.
Oh, food poisoning.
No, I actually love koi
I used to go to Koi back in my wet days
when it was cool.
Well, I mean, it's still. That's my question. It's still
go there
there.
once a week.
Is it still bumping, as the kids used to say?
You know, it was always bumping, and then it had a certain heyday with like Craig's. You know, a lot of cameras out front. And now that it's not, it's just still a good restaurant.
It's the best.
But it's not
I love
all
it.
the commotion.
Is the Stinking Rose still across the street?
That's
this is on-
down La
That's
Cienega a
further
little bit.
down towards
Yeah.
Wilshire.
What about Ed DeBevick's? Is Ed DeBevick's still up and running?
I don't, you live in L.A.? Was on Melrose 18 years ago. No, that's way down. You're right. That's
Wait,
Johnny Rockets.
what about Flippers? Do you guys ever skate at Flippers?
Are you thinking of the Sonic in Austin?
I'm thinking of the place that used to be where the Beverly Center is now built.
Oh.
No, that was the Odyssey nightclub.
No, you know, I do a lot of La Cienega. There's a Nobu on there.
Yeah, there is.
There's
A lot of nice restaurants right
Do you
there.
ever do a Fogo de Chao? Sean, I would think that you would like Fogo
Hey,
de
watch
Chao.
the language, please,
Yeah,
Will.
No, but a friend of mine just texted me last night a new documentary once again on the food industry, and now she's a vegan because of it. Some new documentary that's out on Netflix. So she's like, I went shopping. I'm not buying meat anymore.
I watched a documentary on Netflix about food, and it got me to go vegan for 6 months to try to drop my cholesterol. And
Yeah,
so
I
I
remember
didn't. All I had were plants for 6 months. My cholesterol dropped a single point.
Oh, wow, really?
Not
Yeah.
enough.
So,
So you're back on meat.
well, yeah, either meat doesn't matter for cholesterol, or I've got some chronic cholesterol problem that it can't be fixed, and there's limited time.
You
I don't
look
know
pretty
how many-
healthy, though, because you're always pretty skinny and ripped. All you guys are pretty skinny and ripped. No one's really
Well,
lost their...
that's nice of
Have you
you.
spent time with Bateman, like in a meal situation? It's like a supermodel trying to make weight. Like he's counting, he's annoying the waitress with like, you know, the LA thing of like, I'd like to order this, but here are my conditions to my order.
Meg Ryan ordered.
Bullshit.
But it's so funny. If you put a brownie in front of him, he'll inhale it.
That's the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just don't order it, but I will eat it.
The only thing, I've heard that you guys are all three at Aniston's house in different rooms. That's not true, is it? Is that how you
right now.
We've been living at Jen's house for years.
Because I always, I see Jason over there, and not to mention Jennifer Aniston on this, but Jason, that's when I was thinking of eating. I think I've only seen you eat there.
and I eat a lot. I do eat a lot.
You do. And Will, I think I've seen all of you guys probably over there.
By the way, David, I think about this all the time. Fuck, it made me laugh so hard. A few years ago, I don't know if you remember, we went to some event and we were both presenting something. I forget what it was. And there was a guy out doing some bit and it was bombing. And I think it was kind of the point of the thing that was to bomb. And it was
liked
just
it
like
already.
completely bombing. And we were standing next to each other just off stage. And you turn to me and you go, he makes you look like a good actor.
No, why would I say that?
It was so fucking, you had me, I literally bent over laughing. It was so funny. It was such a great burn.
Here's my problem. I do stuff like that to people I don't know well enough. I like you and I think you're funny, and I don't know you well enough to start throwing out shitty jokes to you, but
Oh, you gotta.
I can't help it sometimes because I think you're funny, so I go, this is like a gamble somewhere.
Well, I get it, because I think that, again, this comes up a lot, that's kind of a language of love, of like burning somebody. Like if it was somebody you didn't give a shit, you'd be like, I'm not going to waste that joke on
I
this
wouldn't even
idiot.
talk to you, or you wouldn't talk to me, but
Yeah.
I do that. I talk to Jason a lot when I see him out, because Jason's always interesting to talk to, and Sean and I went to that seafood place, Koi. And,
wait a second, is
I
there
saw him
a
at the
story?
seafood place, Black Angus, because they have shrimp.
I mean, you do sound like somebody on a cruise ship, Sean. Oh, there's wonderful seafood at this place. I mean, what is wrong with you?
You jumped 20
Who
years.
even eats seafood? You
Have
order
you seen
fish
the
some places,
seafood?
but
Oh.
Do you know how easy? Do you know how easy it would be to assassinate Sean? There are two places you have to hang outside of: Chin Chin on Sunset and Koi.
Chin Chin.
By the way, it's so true.
Chin Chin.
Every time you're there, you're sure it's 1999. You're just positive it must be.
I met a date at Chin Chin in 2004. That's the last time I've been there. It's right in Sunset Plaza. It's got a great location, but
Hey, do you have a girlfriend now, David?
Hey, Sean. Whoa,
nice
whoa,
transition.
whoa.
Let's
Yeah.
get into the personal
No,
stuff right
You
now.
know, I had a great girlfriend, and then
Uh-oh. Don't bring us down.
yeah.
Don't bring us down.
Okay,
she
died?
Did she have seafood reaction? And
She went in a different direction.
she went in a
yeah.
different direction. Hold on. What does that mean?
That means she broke up with me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I want to go back to the.
Please,
the-
anything.
We've only covered seafood, so is that where
Did
we're
I ever
going?
tell you about the lobster? I think we didn't cover that right at the beginning.
Here's a story we're going to cut out. Sean's going to hate me for saying this. About 8 months ago, I got a ride with Sean to New York, because Sean's very.
We can skip it in.
We're flying on a PJ, and I look over, and Sean and Scotty have chartered the flight, and the flight attendant comes and says, "Would you like your seafood?" I'm not making this up because this is so relevant. And she comes back with he's on a private jet, and she comes in, she serves him lobster.
Jesus
And so
Christ.
Sean starts squirting like lemon on it, whatever.
Squirts
And he looks
immediately.
over, and I'm taking a photo, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "This is just insurance. This is insurance. You on a fucking private jet eating lobster."
Which, by the way, never ever happens. Like that was
Oh,
one
really?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time.
They told the lobster, the good news is you're going to be on a private jet, and the lobster's like, oh. The bad news is.
But wait, I want to go back to when you were talking about going up to Will and like, you're a funny person, so you feel safe to take a risk with certain jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did that come from? Did you always do that as a kid? Because I think a lot of people making jokes is risk taking, especially like in personal settings. Where did that confidence come from to go, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try it.
God, you know what's funny? I don't even know if it's confidence. It's just at a certain point, I feel like it sounds like I'm saying I'm well known, but it feels like people expect a certain thing from me, even if it's busboys or people or valet. When they see you for 1 second, they sort of want you to say something that if they're only going to see one, that would be sort of memorable. I've seen other people do it because, I try to be polite. I try to be nice to everyone, but sometimes I will joke with people I don't know, even if they want me to stop by their table or something, just to be friendly and say something goofy about them, and then they laugh.
Don Rickles kind of had that same thing. Like
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not really Don Rickles, but just the fact they know you from grown-ups or something, they want you to just say something, and then I goof around with their kids or something.
Yeah.
Right, but like I was walking into this hotel with Kevin Nealon once. This is like 2-3 years ago. And we walk right into the lobby, and he passes these two girls, and out of nowhere he goes, "Oh my God, we were just talking about you."
That's so fucking funny.
so funny.
God
It's
damn.
so bizarre.
He's so
And the girls are
funny.
like, "Wait, what? I don't even know."
Yeah,
That's a great
funny.
line.
And so, but
It's a great
But
one.
that kind of
Shit.
confidence to just kind of say anything to anybody, anytime. That's who you think you are. Like, where does that come from?
it's funny because I'm going to keep not really answering your question, but when I was at dinner, sometimes when I'm with dinner and the ex, actually a while back, she would always infuriate her that you guys probably get this. You say something mildly amusing and they go, and they walk away and this girl goes, are you fucking joking? That C- dog shit. And then they bust a gut just because you're on some stupid movie. And I'm like, that's the way it works. And she's like, it's so fucking humiliating, embarrassing. And then you buy into it and you're like, hey, that's a real zinger. And everyone else is going, that was the worst undercooked shit. And then, and then I'm like, hey, you saw the laughs. I'm getting applause breaks. At table 41, we're killing over here.
So I sleep with rain sound on my phone, and somebody pointed out that it sounds like applause, that I need it all night as I'm sleeping.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad, yeah. I was a busboy, and I was bad. I was like, this sort of answers your question, a piece of it. I was talking to everyone as a busboy. I wasn't a stand-up yet. I never even thought about it. I just was like, hey, and the manager goes, hey, don't talk to the people. That's just sort of the silent guy.
Get the dirty shit and walk away.
Yeah, and he goes, that's the waiter, And I go, well, maybe I could be a waiter. And first of all, he goes, you don't got the stuff. That's what he told me. I go, what stuff? Fucking my job's harder because I have to lean over and get shit, and the waiter just goes, let me take your order, and then, hey, busboy, do everything, and then I'll be back to get the tip.
Stack and balance.
And when you lean over and you see the thing in the back that says to lift. Go straight down and straight up. I've never lifted like that in my life. You're always leaning over, and it's like a 20-pound plate burning hot. So then I go, it's Father's Day, and it was in Arizona too, stupid. And they go, the manager gives me the whole talk, and then he goes, and there's a shark on the menu. It says shark special, and so and it's in Arizona. I don't know, and then I don't even question that part. And then
Could it be further away from the ocean?
Yeah, exactly. Then we shouldn't have any fish, and Sean would hate it. And so we go in, and they go, this table goes, hey, how's the shark? I go, I got a motto. I don't eat them, they don't eat me. Spade, can I talk to you? I go, God damn it. And he goes, what are you doing? I go, crushing. And he's like, dude, what do you not get? Don't fucking talk. I go, dude, I'm getting rolling laughs from 3 tables that heard me. And then he fired me. I said, why don't I be a waiter? Then I can do this all the time. He goes, no, we all hate it.
What are you doing? I'm crushing, bro.
Bro, I'm fucking, can you see? I've got this crowd. You're killing my momentum. I need it. I'm almost to my closer. And then I'd go in the back and just eat everything on their plate. I was such a little scumbag.
Really?
You're a busboy. You just have to, that's your dinner. I know I don't have OCD because I eat any food. Like, I don't even see where it came from. I just get in the back. I go, half a steak. Like, I don't know if they put a cigarette out in it. I don't know anything. I just go, I'll take it.
And we will be right back.
Thanks to Native for their support. When it comes to personal hygiene, who has time to read that long list of ingredients on the back of the bottle? Some ingredients I can't even pronounce. If you're like me, and I can't even pronounce some of these words I'm reading right now. If you're like me and care about what goes on in your body, then try Native personal care products. If you still haven't tried Native deodorant, here's what you need to know. Ready? It's aluminum free. It offers 24-hour odor protection. It's vegan and cruelty free. It's made with naturally derived ingredients, and you can choose from over 10 scents. That's scents like not cha-ching. This year, Native has something sweet in store for their customers with their new collaboration with Tiny Cupcake Bakery, Baked by Melissa. This limited edition collection is made up of fragrances like tie-dye vanilla cupcake that are inspired by a signature cupcake for an indulgence in the shower and beyond. The Native Baked by Melissa collection is made up of 4 scents and is available in deodorant, body wash, and shampoo and conditioner. For a friend of mine, I got her a gift from Native. It's the cucumber and mint essential set. And because she likes clean and fresh kind of things. And she called me up and was freaked out. And she's like, this is the best thing I ever had. And so I said, well, you're never going to have me, so I'm sure it's great. Smell and feel fresh all day long with Native. Get 20% off your first order by going to nativedeo.com/smartless or use promo code smartless at checkout. That's nativedeo.com/smartless or use promo code smartless at checkout for 20% off your first order.
SmartLess is brought to you by Hunter Douglas. Who doesn't love to live well? Anybody? Anybody. Can't see the back. Okay, but is there anybody that doesn't like to be perfectly at ease in comfort and style? Anybody? No? Well, Hunter Douglas can help you do just that with their innovative window shade designs, gorgeous fabrics, and control systems so advanced they can be scheduled to automatically adjust to their optimal position throughout the day. Perhaps it's the way the shades diffuse harsh sunlight to cast a beautiful glow across the room, or being able to enjoy the view outside the window while protecting your privacy inside. I like that. Maybe it's the superior insulation the shades provide, keeping you warmer in winter, which is nice, cooler in summer, which is a relief, and lowering utility bills, which helps keep my wallet not getting so slim. Or is it simply that Goldilocks moment when you walk into a room and everything about it looks and feels just right, and you can't explain it? And sometimes you think you're going a little bit crazy, but you're not. It's because Hunter Douglas is making your experience perfect. And when you tap into Hunter Douglas's Power View technology, your shades can be set automatically, repositioned for the perfect balance of light, privacy, and insulation. Morning, noon, and night, and night, and noon, and morning. What I love about Hunter Douglas is that it keeps my room real dark when I need to sleep. And then when I'm not sleeping and I put it up, it keeps my room looking real nice. So I like nice and good. Do you hear me? These are all positive things, and I want to share this experience with you so you don't start to go crazy. So live beautifully with Hunter Douglas, enjoying greater convenience, enhanced style, and increased comfort in your home throughout the day. Visit hunterdouglas.com/smartless today for your free Style Get Smarter design guide with fresh takes, creative ideas, and smart solutions for dressing your windows. That's hunterdouglas.com/smartless for your free design guide. This episode of SmartLess is brought to you in part by ZipRecruiter. I think it's a great idea to keep learning new skills, okay? And there's a lot of stuff that I'd like to learn how to do. I would like to learn how to get better at saving money. I would like to learn how to cook for myself in an appropriate manner. I would like to learn how to speak another language. I'd like to learn how to speak Portuguese. That's a true story. And I'd like to learn how to fill my house with plants. I've been thinking about that too. I don't have enough plants in the house, but I'm worried that they're gonna die. Let me be really honest though. I want to learn how to cook the perfect burnt crusted rice from a perfect paella or a bibimbap. So if you're always learning, it keeps you sharp, like ZipRecruiter. Their AI is always learning. So if you're hiring, their AI gets better and faster at finding the right candidates for all your roles. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/smartless. ZipRecruiter uses its powerful technology to find and match the right candidates right up with your job. Then it proactively presents these candidates to you. You can easily review these recommended candidates and invite your top choices to apply for your job, which encourages them to apply faster. And that's a really, really good thing. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site in the US based on G2 ratings. G3 ratings, not out yet. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free at this exclusive web address. Ready? Are you at your keyboard? Are you really going to write down a web address with a pencil or a pen? Because you're going to look dumb. I'd go right to your device. You ready? Here we go. ZipRecruiter.com/smartless. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Smartless. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
And now back to the show.
David, what was the audition process for SNL? Because we've had a bunch of people, and everybody's got kind of a little bit of a different story. Did you do it in LA? Did you do it in New York? What, were you doing Groundlings at the time? I don't know.
I'm going to take this question.
Yeah, you might as well.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I'm going to take this call. Can you guys hang on one second?
You know what? Let's go to the phones for 1 second. Hello? You're on the air with 4 idiots. So, so I was doing stand-up and never thinking of being on SNL. And got to LA from Arizona, and I was getting some spots. I guess who I liked that was very funny, Nealon. He was one of my, kind of an influence because he had that dry delivery, which I never really saw a lot of.
So funny.
And where he just runs over it and you don't even know it's a joke. I'm like, do these people know that's the funny part?
Right.
Yeah.
Even I didn't really know. I go, oh.
He'll come out. He'll go in my bathroom. He'll come out. He'll go totally dry. He'll go, hey, you got a plunger? Every time he comes out of the bathroom.
When we were on that Lights Out show, we have like a little cactus with all these leaves and shit in the middle of the table that we all sit around. And then at the commercial, he goes, hey, you gonna eat that salad? You gonna eat the rest of that salad? And I'm looking around like, what's he talking about? It says leaves. Anyway, and then in the middle of my monologue, he interrupts me and goes, hey, what are you gonna wear tonight? And anyway, so he goes, so he was very funny and I would watch his act. And then one time I was getting kicked out of the place I was living in, this other comedian, I was renting. It was some, it's always like a disaster situation, but he was moving back in, so he kicked me out. And I go, I don't even know where. And then Nealon just happens to go, oh, I'm moving out. I got SNL. It was way back then, right when I started. And he goes, if you want to rent my room while I go there, I live with a couple comedians. And I said, oh, fuck yeah. So he goes, I'll come back on the
You didn't even ask who the comedians were? Because that sounds like that's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have any choice. I just, one was Bob Duback, one was a writer, and one was Dana Carvey.
Wow.
Oh,
And,
there you go.
Dana lived above the garage in like just a room, and he had his wife with him. They were living there, and he was already on SNL.
This is like a commune.
Isn't that crazy? Comedy like Manson camp. So
that is wild.
So I was not known, and Nealon was a very friendly guy, and then they'd go to SNL, and then on weeks off they'd come, and Nealon would stay on the couch, but they would tell me SNL stories, and still never crossed their mind to do SNL because I wasn't like a character guy. I'm just barely a middle act, just trying to make sure this is what I'm going to do forever, because I have to make enough to just go, check to check. I still wasn't making money. And then I sort of went way back for your answer, but this answer's 2.5 hours. Just tell me when it feels.
I love it.
Like
I'm in.
Okay, so then
You can pick it up probably.
Yeah, that right there, it's starting to drag just
right
a little
there,
bit.
It dipped a little bit.
Yeah, but we can probably trim that out. But
the thing about comedy, tangent alert.
David.
So anyway, they come back, blah, 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 and then I do the Young Comedian special that used to be on HBO, and there was a host would host it, and Dennis Miller was the host.
That's right.
Will, have you heard the story? And so,
I got
Listener Will's texting.
I'm texting because I got Amy's FaceTiming about because my son hasn't finished his homework. It's an even better story.
Did you let her know that it's our time right now?
Or it was the weekend?
Yeah.
So anyway, I get an audition because they saw this Young Comedian special, and me and Schneider got an audition in New York. So that was your answer. I flew to New York.
And then that audition was stressful, was relaxed. Did you want it or not?
Diarrhea inducing?
Yeah.
I wanted it, but I go, I would be on SNL, it'd be great. No characters, no idea, just like sounded great. No plan.
So what, don't you have to do characters for your audition though?
Yeah,
they tell you have to do a certain...
No, I did stand-up.
So you just did your set.
A lot of people just do stand-up, and now more and more they're making stand-ups do characters, which fucking sucks.
And don't you have to do like an impersonation or... No?
Yeah. I was just scrambling. I'm like, here's John Bonet. I love a parade. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. And they're like... I got hired to be a writer, and I didn't want to be a writer. I wanted to be...
Yeah.
So then did you... Okay. Sorry, don't want to jump ahead, but what'd you do?
So Schneider and I get hired as a feature. It's called a writer-performer. Feature player. So he goes, this is great. This is what Chevy Chase did.
So you get to write and be on camera or just write for the first year?
Jason's like, we're toward the end?
No.
So I get to...
It's foggy at the runway.
I go there.
Yep.
And I walk around. No. So I just get a brown desk and a legal pad. And they just go, this is your week. But no one tells you jack shit. So Rob and I walk around and we see Conan O'Brien. The writers are fucking hitters. It's Greg Daniels, Conan, Robert Smigel, Jim Downey, and fucking Bob Odenkirk and then the cast is Mike Myers and Dana, and all these guys are writing too. So I'm competing against these fucking Frank and all these writers, and then the cast, and that's the hard part. Is that we weren't even trying to get on the show at the first. I was like, let me just get through read through without my sketch sucking so fucking bad, where everyone looks around and goes, "What the fuck? Who's Spade?" Because you have to put your name on it, unfortunately. So they look at it, and they're already like, low expectations. But then, Lauren, you guys have hosted, you read like 45 sketches at read through, and I probably write 2, which is harder than shit because most of the hosts were about the same look, like honestly, like white guy, like a little older, like, it could be Tom Hanks and Alec Baldwin and John Malkovich and then and Michael Keaton. So your sketches aren't so different. You can't go, oh, it's Melissa McCarthy. Oh, I have a great one for her because it's something we haven't seen for a while. Right. And she does different moves than this person. And it's always fun to get someone different. And if you're not a good writer, which I wasn't, it's really hard to think differently and write for other people, which is hard.
Did you watch SNL and before you went through all of this? Like, were you a fan? Like, did you have favorite people?
I did watch it growing up and loved it. And that was always like, I think people's favorite years are sort of their years when they were in front of a TV. And people say they liked it when I was on. It's usually when they were watching.
Did they say, okay, David, just write for a year, and if your writing is good, then we'll put you on camera after a year? Or how did they?
That's a good question. That was way better than Sean's. What it was
usually
Sean tried to get in another one before you.
He did what I used to do, which is give you a multiple choice for an answer, which ends up elongating things.
And Jason also likes to answer his own question buried in the question. At the midway point.
We're not journalists. We're nowhere. We're nowhere close to
Listen, I'm doing a podcast. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I mean, Dana talks, and I just wait, and then I say a joke, and everyone looks like, "Why are you talking?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm just going to watch. I'm going to watch a little bit."
I love that you guys are doing that together. By the way, I love that you guys are 2 super hilarious dudes, and it sort of when I saw that you guys were doing that, I was psyched.
Well, everyone goes, "SmartLess is the greatest show on earth."
I know. Do a lot of people sound like that?
Well, we didn't videotape it, and I said, I think we should videotape it because my fans are between 6 and 9 years old, and they like things on TV.
They like pictures.
It's like YouTube.
And so, YouTube. And they like Legos.
Sure.
In the Hotel Transylvania. So everyone just said, no, we don't. And I go, I only know stuff from my stupid Instagram. I don't even know about podcasts. I go, oh, that person, I follow Housing One. Oh, there's a clip from it. So I go, how do I tell people I'm on it? They're like, well, that's up to you. I'm like, it is? What? So,
What?
Well, that's where you come in. I go, I don't know what you mean. Where do I come in? I can't even show it. So they said, SmartLess. And I go, oh, Jesus.
Hey, David, when you used to do, how deep into doing SNL, you being on SNL, did you start doing that? I think, was it called Hollywood Minute?
Yes.
Oh, God, it gave me so much anxiety.
I know, me too. So,
Wait, what is it?
Anxiety or give me?
No, it gave me so, because I was definitely on the outskirts of showbiz. In the prime.
Hit?
In the prime target land. I would watch that with just like when someone watches a horror film through fingers.
Tell Tracy what it is.
So for Tracy out there, Hollywood Minute was this hilarious segment of Weekend Update where David would come on like a Hollywood reporter does on a local news station, and he kind of runs down the status of the business and the status of people's careers, et cetera, et cetera.
Sean, it was fucking. Do you remember?
Oh no, I totally remember.
You do
I didn't remember
now.
it was called.
But it was
Minute, but
always
brutal.
it was always the scathing, truthful underbelly of what the true climate was.
It was a baseball bat to the knees of people.
Yeah, like if any movie didn't open, he would he'd shine a light on. If somebody's career was plummeting, he'd amplify it. Yeah. It was just.
Did anybody ever get mad at you? Did you ever get any like?
Well, it was always a little dicey because I'm doing it and then I'm doing it a lot. I'm fucking horny for it, and then we'd be in the writers' room and Jim Downey would go, "You would never do that," and we'd throw out jokes, and I go, what about this? And he's like, oh, no, you're too much of a pussy. And I'm like, I think I am. He's my head writer, he's my boss, bullying me to do it. And because Downey was like, we all love Downey, he's the best writer. And so, and he wanted these jokes. Everyone wants the jokes, they just don't want to do them.
Right.
And I was the conduit to get them out there. And so people would come to me and go, what if you said? And so I start getting, some didn't always do well, but they were more memorable because people were like, oh, this is back when it was People magazine and that was it. So all celebrities were just catered to. And so
Right.
no one was saying anything negative. And so I'm like, hey, have you seen this fuck face? And then everyone's like, wait, what? I'm like, God damn, that movie sucked. And they're like, so it was probably like 12 jokes in a row. And then I go, later, and just get out and run and hide.
Did you ever joke about somebody that had just been a host or somebody that came on a
that's
few
always
weeks later
hard.
that was a host?
I think I did Stone Temple Pilots. And I go, I just heard their album. I liked them the first time I heard them when they were called Pearl Jam. And then they came on the show about a month later and they said, Marcy Klein comes up and goes, Stone Temple Pilots are down there and the lead singer wants to kick your fucking ass. And I go, are you joking? She goes, not really, no. But we won't let him up here. And I go, well, don't tell him I'm up here. He doesn't know the fucking building. I didn't tell him you were on 17. I go, well, I am on 17. Don't throw numbers out. And so she goes, so she had to calm him down. And then I wound up being good friends with that guy, who's a great guy, Scott. And, but that was just a throwaway joke, but I don't get how it like hits him to the bone because it was one of the first times someone said something like that, you know, to him, which is kind of, jokes now seem like old jokes, but then they were sort of newer. When I remember one of the rough ones was Downtown Julie Brown because she left this MTV and she was doing something stupid, and I go, wubba wubba wubba, my career's in trouble. And then next joke, and people are like, God damn, dude. Oh, here's The Bodyguard. I saw it was the weekend it opened. I saw The Bodyguard this weekend, and I want my money back. But I had a really good high pitch. And then, and even though it was a good movie, that was the worst part. I just go, well, the joke sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean,
and not everyone saw it yet. They don't know.
That's the point of it was they were just jokes. Like if anybody, you know, if one of those guys threatened you at valet, you're like, dude, I was just I don't know you. I'm just making a fucking joke in the moment.
Yeah, I talked to Chris Rock about it because Chris Rock still does it. Like when he's doing his act and, you know, he's like, J-Lo, she got here and then her ass came 2 hours late. You know? And so, but he's doing it right to them and like at an award show. And I go, oh, I couldn't do that. That's too rough. That's too hard. He goes,
SNL carried and still does carry so much validation power that by you in that moment, in that bit, being the voice of SNL, you were either making or breaking some careers to a certain extent, and it was you could not watch.
Yeah, SNL does still, you know, people. It's good that it's hanging in there because it has its ups and downs. But there's always something funny, and I wish we had a sketch on Monday you could see online. You know, there's no online, so you miss it. You miss it for 6 months until there's a rerun. So,
well, you know what's funny, David? You get this a lot, and I just sort of peripherally have seen it over the years. You know, when Amy was on, the thing where people go like, I don't like SNL anymore. I liked it back when, and that's like the most common thing you hear from people. And I got to see it, and I just call such bullshit on it because, you know, the very nature of a sketch show is it's never going to be 100% perfect. You know, if you get one or two good sketches a show, that's a great show.
That's any show,
that's
really.
great. That's every show,
Right.
yeah.
And that's the only part that you remember. So all these seasons are much better in the rearview mirror because you're only thinking about the good stuff.
So people go, I remember the good days when it was this, and it's like, no, you fucking don't, you fucking liar. You have,
And they told us we sucked.
Right, of course.
When we were loaded up with everybody.
And you guys were loaded, and it was amazing. The other thing, David, I've often thought of this. You came up with an entire sort of joke format, which was used and taken and stolen from you for years, which was 1999 called, and that they want their pants back, or
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is great.
That is like an iconic joke format that you created.
I think that was in Hollywood Minute. Would do different versions of it. It started with
so funny.
Oh yeah. Well, there was one thing before I did Hollywood Minute, I did it, and thank you for saying that. Because that joke has been bent and beat around for years, but I love being a part of it. When I was on Dennis Miller's old talk show, he was my favorite comedian, and so he had a talk show, but toward the end it was going off the air so people wouldn't go on. I didn't understand that. You know, people start scattering, when there's any sign of trouble. But it was his last month, but they knew it was canceled, so no one would come on. So I came on, I think, 3 times in 2 weeks. And because he had helped me so much get on SNL, I was like, sure. He's like, Spudley, I said, sure. But the last time I came on in shorts, so disrespectful. But I was like, yeah, I got to go to the Beverly Center. I'll be there. And so I go over there and he goes, shorts, bud? On a talk show? And I go, it's called Summer, dude. Look into it. And then when I did Hollywood Minute, I go, oh, I should do more shit like that. That's funny. So it was like, it's called fashion. Look into it. So it was stuff like that. And then in 1997 called They Want Their Hair Back. And all that stuff. So that was a point of time. But even jokes from movies like Tommy Boy and stuff where you look back.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
I think some of them hold up and some, old movies, some jokes hold up, some don't. But some are original from that movie, like not just Tommy Boy. There's a lot of movies where you see it and you go, oh, that's kind of a corny bit. And you go, oh, no, that's where it started. Like,
Yeah.
When there's anything wrong with my face, it's not so much here. It's really, you see any red mark here. Oh,
yeah. God. We kept sending him back to makeup going, it's got to be redder. It's got to be so clear.
Yeah.
David, who are you hanging out with today other than Carvey a lot that just makes you fucking bust a gut?
Oh, comics that I hang out with are Kyle Dunnigan I saw last night. Who does a lot of impressions and weird stuff on his Instagram. It's still different. He's not just a straight stand-up. Theo Vaughn, Tim Dillon. There's guys I just see here.
Are you getting up on stage lately?
I do.
Yeah?
I did a special.
Yeah?
I did a special 2 weeks ago. This airs in 2023, but I did a special 2 years ago in 2022 that it comes on. I don't know when. I'm going to go edit it Sunday, but I did it, and it was hard because I was practicing, and I haven't done one for a long time. Last was on Comedy Central, which not no one saw, but it's just harder to see. I want it on Netflix. And so, actually, I ran into Brad Pitt. You guys all know Brad Pitt. And I never see him, but I saw him somewhere, and he goes, I'm seeing all these specials, and he's rattling off all these comedians, and I'm like, I have to do one just so Brad will see it. That was really the
impetus.
He goes, you don't have one. Like, I'm not in the business. I go,
oh, God.
I've been turning down a lot of stuff lately.
You go home and you're brushing your teeth and you're like, Brad Pitt thinks I'm not in showbiz anymore.
He didn't say it out loud, but he was thinking, his like eyes darting around and like, who's this fucking clown?
We'll be right back. Thanks to ExpressVPN for supporting the show. Hey, anyone here use incognito mode? Do you ever read the fine print that appears when you start browsing incognito? It says that your activity might still be visible to your employer or your school or your internet provider. Not very incognito, huh? That's why to really stop people from seeing the sites you visit, you need to do what I do and use ExpressVPN. Think about all the times you've used Wi-Fi at a cafe or a hotel or even your parents' house, wherever you are. Without ExpressVPN, every site you visit could be logged by the admin of that network, even when you use incognito mode. As everybody knows, it's the world's getting crazier and crazier with hacking and breaking in, people having your information. It just seems like it's getting worse. ExpressVPN is an app that encrypts all of your network traffic and reroutes it through their secure servers so that your online activity stays private. And what I love most about ExpressVPN is how easy it is. The app literally has one big on button. You tap it to turn it on, and that's it. It works on all your devices, phones, computers, even your router, so your whole family can stay private under one subscription. I even have a simple on button myself. It does other things, but I think you pick it up on what I'm putting down. So stop letting people invade your online privacy. Protect yourself with the #1 rated VPN at expressvpn.com/smartless. Use our link, expressvpn.com/smartless, to get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/smartless to learn more.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. This week's topic is relationships. And this week's question is, what are some of the important relationships in your life? And for me, there are so many important relationships, all the people that I'm close to. The first thing that comes to mind is my family. And when I think of my family, I think of my kids, and also to my other loved ones. My personal relationship, and my romantic relationship, and my relationship with my parents, and my relationship with my siblings. But what about the relationship that we have with ourselves? I think that therapy is a great way to create that relationship with yourself and become the healthiest version that you can be. I remember the first time I tried therapy, I was nervous because I was worried about talking about my own experience and letting somebody else in on my life and what I thought. And really, I think what it was what I thought about myself. And once I was able to start that process and really share that, everything opened up for me. It all changed. I can't endorse therapy enough because I think it's the best path towards growth and understanding who you are. And that relationship with yourself, you need to build it. And the best way to build it is with somebody who helps you understand yourself better. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. So give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. SmartLess listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/smartless. That's BETTERHELP.com/smartless. This episode of SmartLess is brought to you in part by Liquid IV. Look, everybody knows I'm Canadian, eh? So, I got a question I need to ask you. Have you been sticking to any of your new goals that you made for yourself at the start of the year, bud? Is staying hydrated helping you maintain your well-being / your fitness this year? You know what? You got to get some of that Liquid IV and start stuffing that into your 2022 routine there, bud. Okay, I'll tell you why, eh? Because you're going to get all the good stuff that you need. Look, there's no better way to keep 2022 going strong than by making sure you're feeling like your best self. And one goal I got for myself this year is, I'm gonna up my hydration game, eh? And I'm not talking about going outside there and sticking my face in a snowbank and just hoping some snow just melts down and goes down my gullet. No, I'm going to be doing that with the help of my favorite hydration product, Liquid IV. Right? So 1 stick of the Liquid IV, you just put in 16 ounces of water and it hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. And when I first heard that, I was like, holy smokes, eh? Like, that's so much more than just water on its own, you know? See, like faster or whatever, right? So it contains 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks, eh? Liquid IV is made with premium ingredients. Liquid IV has incredible hydration flavors like watermelon and lemon lime, eh? And strawberry and pina colada and maple.
Nope.
They don't?
No, dude.
Okay, well, I'm making a suggestion. I'm
Dude,
saying
I've told you like 5 times.
Okay, well, don't yell at me, eh? I'm just saying if you want to. So grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SMARTLESS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code SMARTLESS at liquidiv.com, eh? Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code SMARTLESS. Liquid IV. And by the way, let me just take this for all the young folks out there. Throw away your smokes, eh? Because they're not good for yous, okay? So if you got it in your pocket and I seen yous, I know where they is, right? Okay? Crush your smokes.
All right, back to the show.
David, your talk show Lights Out was, I just thought it was one of the greatest things I'd ever seen. I watched it all the time, and then I was on it with you.
You did a funny bit on it.
God, it was so
Thank
funny. What happened? Because I thought this is working great. Like,
Surreal, raw nerve.
no, because I
Now
don't
the tears
understand.
come. There they are.
It
Yeah.
was one of the greatest late night things.
Obviously,
I
one of the best shows of all time, but that's your words. No, it was a fun show to do. It was fucking hard to do. I don't know. I mean, I'm such a colossal pussy. I probably would have.
You just seem so perfect for that outlet.
Thank you. It was a fun show. It was just 4 nights a week is hard, but
Yeah, I always assume talk show hosts have the easiest job in the world, but I keep hearing it is one of the hardest jobs in the world.
yeah, they try to make it easy. Like when I hosted Kimmel, they go, that's great. You're coming in the morning. Jimmy comes in 7 minutes before the show. Well, what am I doing here at 6 a.m.? But because I don't know how to do it, they're trying to teach me, where
Right.
to stand and what to say. But I said, I'm sure he's got it so fucking wired that they have to, because it's hard. And it's hard to, the hardest part, like even like on a talk show like a Kimmel, is the talking to the guest part. Like this to me is easier in a way. Plus you guys have some help. Like I have me and Dana. And it's still kind of hard, but it's more bullshitty. But on a talk show, it's like that 11 minutes or whatever. And ask questions and you got to keep it entertaining and balls in the air and you don't know much about the person. And
you have to tee up the promotion of whatever they're selling.
yeah, and you got to work this and that. And you don't know they're talking backstage. They don't want to get to your clip, but you think they are. Like when you're a guest, you're like, we're out of time. I think I brought a, and they're like, all right, next time with David Spade. I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know how it is. So the lights out thing was, we went into Corona, COVID.
Yeah.
You know, because we're in the third year of our 2-week lockdown right now. And they said 2 weeks. And then after that, they go, can you just, if we send you a mic, can you do it from home on Zoom? Which a lot of people tried. It was hard to do, but we did it for a while. And then Comedy Central said, a new boss came in and said, we're going to get rid of Tosh and Lights Out, and we're going to go more animation and stuff. So they just did a clean sweep and started over. And I was like,
So do you want to do something like that again, that kind of routine, or do you prefer features or doing another TV show or maybe just podcasts and touring and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well, podcast is new and it will, and it's not, it's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting because everyone is SNL related. It's about, sort of has a slant. So some are just old friends and some are people I just know who they are. And it's fun to ask them stuff about the show because at least I have some knowledge of it. But I like stand-up.
Do you enjoy the touring part, like city to city and
Yeah, I mean,
sets
I don't bust my ass, but I do like to get out, and it's kind of fun to go to a city and see how much you sell or what, you know, you do a theater, and they go, oh, they want to add a night or something. You go, oh, I've never even been there. Like, that's fun to go and see who's listening and who's watching and who knows you from what after all this time.
Now, are you the type of guy that does a show and then goes out afterwards and gets after it and sleeps till 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
No, that stopped early. That stuff, which is a comic's life, when I did like the Dallas Improv and I was starting out and I was a middle on the road, which means you're not the headliner, but you do like 25 minutes. It was such a weird thing to not have any rules. You know, you just go out and you go, I'm a fucking middle for life. Yeah, I got hired in SNL, I was still a middle. And then you go out and headline, you go, I don't even know, I don't have 45 minutes. I don't have an hour, but so I go out in middle and then you just have to be somewhere.
Is the top the best or the bottom the best? Who headlines, a top or a bottom?
Sean?
If you're the middle.
Yeah, Sean.
Sean?
Yeah, Sean, I don't understand this question.
No, in stand-up world, if you're the headliner, does that make you the top or the bottom?
That's the best thing you can be.
The bottom?
What does the bottom mean?
Well, I don't know. If you say you're the middle, that's kind of in the
you're
middle.
the top.
So the headliner would be the top. Got it.
There's opener, middle, headliner. And they just say middle because you're between the opener and the headliner.
Understood.
So you actually call and say, hey, what do? You go, I'm a middle. I'm trying to play your club. And they go, okay, send me a VHS of your act shot on a, camcorder somewhere. And then they go, all right. And so I go to these clubs. I got up to making $1,000 a week. Sometimes when I did Vegas, it was only 500 a week, but it was 21 shows. And I thought I was king cock. I was happy with it.
Now, you were going out after that, right? Would you go play the tables?
Those I would. And then my friends would come on the road and they go, oh, we got it. So you'd go to a club, and what I was getting at is you get a free Hawaiian chicken dinner, which is like chicken with a pineapple on top, a pineapple ring. And I'd eat that. I'd fucking whoop
Sean's
it.
eyebrows are high right now.
He's like, were there shrimp in it? No? Okay.
Could I sub out the... Yeah.
Could I sub out? Do you have ahi?
Would you ever do, because you've been on 2 of the biggest sitcoms, Just Shoot Me and Rules of Engagement, that both lasted years and years.
Will I do a sitcom again? I mean, probably.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I'm not really going after it too hard. I'm just sort of started the podcast doing stand-up and then had to get ready for my special, which I had to do a little extra stand-up to rub out the rough edges. Finished it, trying to make it. I didn't want it to be an hour because I think some people don't last that long watching them. But now it's at an hour 11. I got to still cut it down. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to cut anymore. I like it. It's so gross.
Great.
I like my own jokes. It's sickening.
No, but that's great. If things are working, that's awesome.
Right. And then someone goes, Chris Rock watching, he goes, I feel a special should be 55. And I go, yeah, me too. Your last one was an hour 31. He goes, I know. I go, are you saying you're better than me? We all know he is, but I make him say it.
Speaking of Rock, so you guys have obviously you and Rock and Sandler and Schneider. You guys have all worked together now for like 30 years. Keep doing movies together and blah blah. Is this something that like I don't know, every 3 years you guys kind of call each other up and go like, hey, let's go do something? Or is Sandler the kind of the ringleader and goes like, hey, guys.
Usually it starts with Adam if he has something, but we all just try to do our own stuff. And then if, the Grown-Ups is the one that would be fun to do again. I don't think we can unless we do something like that at Netflix because he's moved over there and that was a Sony movie.
Yeah, but that's people would kill to see all you guys together again.
But it would be fun to do it because, listen, we're keeping the lights on at TBS lately because it's on like 6 times a day and then it's Grown-Ups 2 and then it's Bench Warmers. And then it's like, it's just on heavy rotation. People are like, it's Clockwork Orange. They're like, you will see Grown-Ups soon. Just stay on this channel.
And now, are the stories accurate as far as how great and cozy and comfy and cush those shoots are, where all these buddies hanging out in some great location with light days and...
But listen, Ozark doesn't look like a easy shoot. I watch movies
we're all
that are
playing,
fucking hard.
We're all playing grab ass, yeah.
Everything looks hard when I watch it. I look for night shoots in movies. I go, fuck that.
Fuck that.
But Grown-Ups is mostly daytime.
Right.
Which is already a start for people that don't know. You're like, oh, okay, that's good. And then it's still getting up at 5.
But he shapes these things so that it is appealing to him, you, the rest of your friends, as far as location goes. It's an ensemble, so the workload is kind of spread out, and all families get to come, correct?
On the Grown-Ups was where he was really family-centric going, we have to cut these jokes. One was we had gone to a strip club one night, and he's like, absolutely not, we have to do this. And one was this, we was just shaving it down to go, you're sitting with your daughter who's 9.
Right.
That's where I want to come. So what can they see where you don't go, oh, shit. I said, okay. So every joke was kind of like, let's keep it funny, but let's do different versions because we're going to nail the one that's good. And when everyone's pretty funny, you huddle up after a take and say, what if you said this? And then like I go, Adam, what if you said this? And he goes, you know what? Give that to Rock. And then Rock goes, all right, I'll say that. And then blah, blah. And someone will pitch something and they'll go, Kevin James will go, I'll say that. Okay, perfect. Go again, like huddle. And then we go back to it. And then we come in and go, what about this? And Adam would always pepper the jokes around. So you could have cut that movie right, every joke in the movie. Because every scene, you have one. You have something. And he has to give it like, but he gives himself almost the least. He's the main character. He's like the Seinfeld. And he's like, you do this, you go off and do that, you say that joke. Gives himself some fun, but isn't selfish. And then it's still a 5 a.m. shoot. It's still a shoot.
Sure.
And, Adam has to sit there and wrangle us when we're all, me and Salma Hayek and Rock are talking over here and Schneider's over there. And then he's like, guys, fucking. And then you only have 2 lines. So you get to your line and he goes, Spade. I go, oh, shit. Oh, is that me? Hang on.
So he's writing, producing, directing, and first ADing, right?
He's such a generous guy, right? He's incredible.
And he's good with it. And then those wind up being a lot of fun. And sure, it's work. But in the work world, it's the best way because at least at night, you can go eat with someone, or at least on the set, you can go bullshit with someone. Because a lot of things you do, like I did Father of the Year after that. Oh, a couple of people remember? Thank you.
Yeah, hold for
And it was Adam's nephew was directing, who was new at it, and he wound up directing Wrong Missy. But that was his first thing. And Adam goes, do you want to do this? And I think it's pretty funny. I think you'd be good in it. And I read it, and it was like low budget. Like I said, yeah, I read it. I thought it was funny. And but it was in the cold. It was not Grown-Ups. It was freezing. It was raining every single day. And I didn't know anybody. And so it was a whole different ballgame of like, oh, it's back to work. And you guys have done stuff where it's just work. And you go, I just got to do it. And then the only joy really is you're doing takes where you think maybe you nailed something funny. And it started to come together as I shot it. I go, this is pretty funny for me.
Right.
And so when it ended, you don't know. It's just you're shooting out a sequence. You don't know if it's any good. And they cut it together. When I saw it, I said, oh, good. I like this one.
Do you like, you from the outside, from me, such a big fan, and we email and we're friends and whatever, but I look at you and I go, SNL, and 2 massive sitcoms, movies, touring with your stand-up, like the success is just really huge. And is there anything left or anything that you haven't really conquered yet, that in this world that you're like, yeah, if I could just blank, get blank or whatever, or is it just like gravy?
Maybe one more Razzie.
One more Razzie.
What's the record on that? Is that what you're chasing? Is it?
Well, Razzies, the really one that got me was
Do they even still do those?
I mean, it's so fucking stupid that they do it and it gets all this attention, and they just make up things now. The best one, which was
really quick, David, for Tracy Arazi is an award for the worst performance or the worst movie or whatever.
Who's Tracy?
My sister in Wisconsin.
Who doesn't know shop talk, so we got to break it down.
Tracy.
Wait, what about the Razzie?
Oh, the Razzie is I was in Jack and Jill, and I was up for worst actress. And Sandler was up for worst actor and actress.
That's pretty funny.
And I was like, okay, Razzies, you got one funny one in there. Good job.
David, to give us an update, a status, all the ups, all the downs about the personal life. I want it all. I want pets, mates.
Oh, really? Just a quick Wikipedia.
How's personal life? Exciting? Boring? What's up?
We
with
got
it?
dumped. We would know that he led
really?
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm.
Oh, right.
Jason goes, oh, really? That was toward the beginning when you weren't really.
Yeah, my RAM is filled.
No, I moved. I live near Sunset Plaza now, and then that was in the paper, which is a new thing.
Truly?
Like a real estate
This guy
thing,
moved. Here's his house. Here's how much it costs.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
realtor. Here's photos of it. And here's why he can't afford it.
I just went through the same thing in August, and
I saw your house. That's right.
yeah, there you go.
I saw it in something, and I was like, "Look at this fucker." And then you know what I did is I would judge people by their not on purpose, but I would just think this is DiCaprio's pied à terre or whatever that means. And he first of all I go, it's $2 million. That's all he's got. That's the first thing I think. then I go, oh, he's got that lamp in his kitchen. Jesus. But then when I sold my house, they go, the most embarrassing thing is they go, well, this place is obviously a teardown. I go, oh, what? My beautiful fucking mansion? And they're like, well, I go, I have a tennis court. They go, yeah, we'll bring 2 tennis rackets and some dynamite because we got to just take it down to the fucking nails. And I go, you're joking. I go, they go, you don't live here, do you? I go, well, no, I don't live here. I mean, I stay here. But I was so embarrassed. They were shitting on it. And then I go, all right. So I had these 5 realtors and 4 were like, it's probably a teardown. I go, so that makes me sick. And then the 5th one goes, well, okay, if you just leave it like this, you're going to stage it. I go, I'm going to what? And they go, stage it? And I go, what does that mean? They go, put furniture in here? I go, I have furniture in here. And they're like, well, not this Z Gallery bullshit. Like, we got to come in here and like clean the corners and get some like light in here and some life. And I'm like, what the fuck? This place is, it's unreal. And they go, and then my realtor's nodding his head going, hey man, I wanted to break it to you. So literally all my dreams are crashed. I have to stage it. So the point is I see these things on these photos and I go, that's not even where their house is. Like mine looks so different now. I don't even know what it is. I'm like, that's my house? Okay.
What my house would be so embarrassing if I didn't have the taste of the other half of my life going and fixing all the crappy taste I have.
Well, Jason, your house used to belong to. You guys bought it from the estate. It used to belong to
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah. No, I
who,
definitely,
by the way, who famously, somebody said, how do you stay alive, live so long? And he famously said, by jerking off every day. So do you ever have that thought of him jerking off all around
is that true?
That's a true quote.
Really? Shit. Hang on a second.
Look it up. That's going to haunt you. Every room that you go, when you're sitting with your family, you guys are having a nice meal. Imagine him standing against the wall, leaning against the wall with one hand, the other one, he's just rubbing one out. And he's thinking, I'm going to live so long.
Blacklight
I'm
over
going
that
to
chandelier.
live so fucking long.
Where was that little chestnut when I was thinking about buying the place?
And the word on the street is he's a real squirter. So
It's got length.
Wait, so I'm living in
Shooting
a goo
ropes?
shack? It's just
In a
goo
goo shack.
everywhere?
Shack, baby, goo
Yeah.
shack.
Oh, yeah.
David Spade.
And then and then I'll tell you this, then you can wrap up. I know Sean's, I got to go. I got to go too. Don't worry about that. So then someone offers me when I go to sell. It did sell. This teardown did sell, thank God. But they go, they offer me half money and half Bitcoins. I go, what the fuck?
I've heard that, yeah.
I know. I go, I'm either stupid or dumb, but I go, oh no. And then they go, we can get you a condo in the metaverse. I go, huh?
What?
On a good street? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
What?
And I go, I'm going to wind up in some shitty apartment in a Ruby Tuesdays website. I know what's going on here. I'll be way, way away from anything cool. And they go, nah. So I didn't sell it for that. I go, I'm just looking for money right now at this juncture.
I don't need a file.
And they're like, oh, then we're out.
Oh my God.
Then we're out.
I don't need an NFB. Is that what it's called? An NFB or something like that?
Yeah, NFT. You want an NFT of my house? Then I keep the house, but you have a picture of it? That's $1 million.
Oh, good God. David Spade, I wish we could go on and on. You have to go. I have to go. We have to go. But it's been such a pleasure. Thanks for
Thank
making
you,
us
guys.
laugh. You made me
That
laugh
felt
for
like
so
5
long.
minutes.
Spade, you're so fucking hilarious all
Yes,
the time.
you are one of the
Consistently.
funniest alive.
Fucking every time. Just hilarious.
It's good to have a bullshit session with you guys because it's always a quick, brief talk.
Come over to Jen's a little bit more often. Be a bigger
Yeah.
bigger part of our lives. Come over to the clubhouse.
Jen's for Tracy is a restaurant we go to. She always has good food in there. All right.
All
Say hi
right.
to Tracy. Tracy, I was in, how would she know me?
She knows exactly who you are. She's a big fan. She's a big fan.
Thanks,
too.
guys, and I will talk to you soon. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
David.
Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. See you
Thanks,
soon,
Sam.
man.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
He is such a unique comedian. Like nobody really does what he does.
Yeah,
you know,
I know,
I think it's
know.
hard to carve out a unique space in comedy, and he has had that and held that
Yes.
from the very beginning.
Yeah,
Quick, dry wit.
really quick, dry, and like I said, like it really made me double over when he just we weren't even talking, and the guy's doing this bit, and he literally, in the driest possible way, just over his shoulder goes, "He makes you look like a good actor," and it just fucking out of nowhere. We weren't even, and it just killed me, and I'm like, God, that's so funny, so quick,
Oh, that's
so
what it
dry.
was. It was him being a waiter and the guy going, "What are you doing?" "I'm crushing." What are you about the shark, the shitty joke about the shark. I don't eat them, they don't eat me.
So fucking funny, so
Yeah,
funny,
he is so great.
consistently, always off
Anyway,
the cuff.
You know, he's been in the business for so long. It's not like you forget about it because he's always there, but you forget, like anything, like his brilliance, and you need to be reminded that these people are out there. So I don't know. He's one of the greatest, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see him back on something super high profile, you know? Whether it's like another TV show or series of movies or the podcast is great and everything, but I want to see him.
Yeah, I want to see him a lot more. That's why I thought that talk show was going to be his thing and work. But, you know, he mentioned the location of his new home, you know, where the section of LA that it's in.
go.
Yeah.
And I don't live too far from there. In fact, I live really near.
No one's ever trying quicker to get to the bye than Sean.
Have a good rehearsal today, Sean.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, bud.
SmartLess.
SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Bennett Barbaco, Michael Grant Terry, and Rob Armjarf.
SmartLess.